Hey everyone, it's Adelise. Welcome back to NSHSS 101. Today, we're breaking down the real version of networking, not the awkward business card networking adults talk about, but the kind that actually helps you as a student. Networking is the process of building relationships with people who can support, guide, or inspire your personal and professional growth. It's not about collecting contacts or asking for favors. It's about forming genuine connections to people who share similar goals, interests, or experiences. Through conversations, curiosity, and consistency, networking helps you learn from others, discover new opportunities, and create a community that supports your success. When you network well, you're not just meeting people, you're building a foundation for future internships, friendships, skills, and collaborations. We're going through four pillars: who you should connect with, to talk about, where to find real opportunities, and how to build relationships that last. Let's get into it. So let's dive into our first question. Who should students network with? Most people think that networking is only for professionals, but network is actually much bigger and more powerful than that. You can network with teachers, counselors, older students, alumni, professionals, your peers, etc. You might be thinking, but how would networking with people like teachers, counselors, older students, and my peers help me in any way? Well, let me tell you. Everyone has done networking in their life, informal or formal. Networking is how we interact with others to exchange information, build relationships, and develop professional or social contacts. I say it's a necessity to hone this skill, to know how to network, to know how to network, to find the right people to help you to reach out about information. Your teachers and counselors have done networking to get to where they are now. They have for their jobs, they had needed to find those job openings. They needed to reach potential employers, recommendations, etc. Your teachers and counselors will most likely know about scholarships, leadership programs, academic opportunities, and who to recommend you to. So why not take a shot? Older students, more experienced students. I'm sure there are things they wish they knew when they were in your shoes, like which classes help, which club matter, where internships are, and which opportunities are real or overrated. From their experiences, they now know this. So now you can ask them all these questions and save yourself from potential regret and gain some really useful information. And your peers? Yeah, that's right. Your classmates, the students who sit right next to you in class. I can say I don't really like talking to people all that much, unless it's family or close friends. I typically try to avoid people as much as possible, but I am polite. For peers, some of them may not have much experience or much to say to you, and you always need to be careful who you give your ears and your time to, especially at school. Some kids can be ruthless and just mean. You need to protect yourself, so don't give your attention to everyone. Know who to give your attention to, but definitely try it out. Network with some of your peers. They have parents, mentors, part time jobs, teacher connections, and volunteer experience. I think you may find it beneficial to network with some of your peers. So let's move on to the next group, alumni. For those of you who do not know what alumni is, alumni refers to a group of former students or graduates of a school, college, or university. The word comes from Latin. It originally meant nurslings or pupils. Alumni are your biggest cheat codes. They love helping younger students. You can find them through LinkedIn, school events, student leadership programs, and my favorite, and I can guarantee you that you will absolutely find an alumni on NSHSS. By the way, NSHSS networking video coming soon, so keep an eye out. An alumni can provide practical real-world insights and opportunities. Networking with alumni is a gold mine. And next we have professionals. You can also start small, med students, business undergraduates, junior engineers, not CEOs. Then work your way up. Many job openings, an estimated 70 to 80%, are not publicly advertised and are filled through internal references and word of mouth. Networking with professionals help you learn about these hidden opportunities and increases your chances of getting a referral, which significantly boosts your hiring prospects. Professionals can provide current real-world information about industry trends, best practices, and emerging technologies that you can't learn in a classroom. This knowledge exchange can help you stay competitive and informed, and so much more. Having connections with a professional can significantly accelerate your career growth. So now that you heard the who of who you should network, we're going to move on to the next session, which is what. What do you actually say when networking? Networking isn't begging for opportunities. It's about being curious and building real-world connections. Ask about their story. People love telling the origin story. Ask things like, what got you interested in your field? What was the most helpful experience when you were my age? Ask for advice, not favors. Instead of, do you have an opportunity for me? Say, what would you recommend for someone starting out? What skills should I be learning? 3. Share what you're working on. People remember specifics. I volunteer with a nonprofit supporting students in India. I'm part of NSHSS and I create educational content. This is true. Have a simple introduction. I'm Annalise and I'm blah 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 blah. Sentence. Short, clear, memorable. Follow up. A simple, your advice really helped. Here's what I did next. Blah 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 blah. Turns a stranger to a mentor. So let's move on to the next session. Where the heck do I network for real benefits? Well, let me recommend a few. 1. LinkedIn. This is the most powerful platform for students. Here you can meet mentors, find internships, join professional groups, build your early career brand, get noticed by recruiters. You can even post once a week, engage daily. It's been a while since I posted on LinkedIn. I think like a month, but I've been busy. NSHSS member portal. Your built-in advantage. Of course, you have to be a member. Inside, you have access to scholarships, leadership programs, webinars, travel, and academic opportunities. Plus, everyone there is already motivated. Networking becomes natural. 3. Local nonprofits. This is where you gain volunteer hours, experience, letters of recommendations, community connections, leadership roles. Nonprofit leaders always know someone. Online courses. Coursera, edX, Google certifications. You're not just learning, you're meeting peers and instructors who become recommendations, references, collaborators, and possible mentors. Clubs and competitions, DECA, debates, FBLA, robotics, ambassador programs. These are filled with ambitious students who will be future leaders. Social media, used professionally. Educational TikToks, Instagram projects, YouTube referrals. These attract opportunities to you. Now let's move on to the next section. We did who, we did what, we did where, and now we gotta do how. Who, what, where, how. How do you actually network effectively? Let me lay down the system. Start with people who are accessible. Older students, teachers, ambassadors, club advisors, local professionals. These are easy conversations. 2. Use the 3-part outreach message. 1. Who you are. 2. What you're working on. 3. Why you're reaching out. Short, clear, and respectful. 3. Give value first. Even as a student, you can provide creativity, help with social media, volunteer support, a fresh perspective, public shout-outs. Value builds trust. So as you see, networking isn't one size fits all. Every student finds what works best for them. And since NSHSS is full of leaders, I wanted to share 2 perspectives from ambassadors who network actively. First is NSHSS Ambassador Blaise Bowers, who's been building an incredible legal network on LinkedIn. Blaise shared this tip. Then don't just focus on who you're directly connected to. Look at your 2nd and 3rd degree connections. When I started exploring those, especially in the legal field, my network grew fast. The more lawyers I connected with, the more LinkedIn recommended. And that's how I expanded my entire professional circle. This is powerful because LinkedIn literally rewards you for networking. The more you connect, the more opportunity it shows you. Another great insight is from another NSHSS ambassador, Kristen Jasper, who focuses on relationship building. She says, proper networking really comes down to being prepared, staying positive, and focusing on others. When your social media presence isn't centered on you, it sets a tone that invites deeper connections. And honestly, listening more than you speak is what turns a simple conversation into a real relationship. This is such an important reminder. Networking is not a performance, it's about being human. So let's keep moving. One thing I really recommend is for you to keep a connection list, a list of all the connections that you have, all the people who you network with, a simple Google Doc with name, roles, connection dates, last names. It really helps to keep your network alive. I also recommend following up every few months. A quick message like, "Hi, I joined a new program and thought of your advice. Thank you." Keeps relationships warm. And to show your growth, post achievements, reflections, lessons, and questions. When people see your growth, you become the person that they want to connect with. And that's networking 101. Who, what, where, how. If you start now and stay consistent, you'll be way ahead of most students your age. Your network is an investment in every conversation grows it. If you want a part 2 or you want to see a Lincoln specific tutorial, let me know in the comments below. As always, stay curious, stay ambitious, and stay connected.